what do you guys say we discuss that manga that I already forgot the name of?
Jay, help
Jay?
him out.
I legitimately forgot what the title was, and I had to go through our conversation to find the title so I could read this thing.
Oh yeah, it starts with a D.
Yeah,
Well,
it's full of D's.
It's full of
D's
like,
nuts.
Got him.
if only our soundboard worked.
Yeah. Anyway, it's in Manga Club this week. We're gonna be reading Dead Demons D Destruction.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay, now I have it here so I can actually like
say it.
Dead Demons. Dead Destruction, and it's by Inio Asano, who is also the mangaka of one of my favorite manga, Goodnight Poon Poon.
Which I'm assuming is why you picked this one.
Yes, it is why I picked this one. Also, it's just an interesting concept.
It is a very interesting concept.
What I can say, I don't think this is a spoiler to read the plot here. This is off of Wikipedia. Oh, go ahead.
Do we want to do our full like review style where you guys predict what we think?
Yes, even though
it's short. Yeah.
Very
quickly.
Yep.
I think Cole loved it. I think Jay enjoyed it, but probably won't continue it.
I think it was a bit slow for Jay. And I think Mike, well, I already know Mike reads it, so that's kind of a cheat. So I think Mike likes it. Yeah.
I'm on like volume 13 or something. So.
Aren't there like 14 volumes?
Yeah, you're almost done.
I know.
There's 100 chapters.
I'm really close. Yeah.
Mike is just rage reading it like people did for Velma.
Yeah. No,
like we do for SAO.
Yeah. We'll get into this later because I don't want to do spoilers, but there's a lot of stuff. It's cool going back and reading, knowing what I know is what I'll say.
Yeah. I don't think we'll go into spoilers because we're only reviewing the first 8 chapters.
Yeah.
I think
which is more just setup.
We're only reading the first 8 chapters instead of like a full review, just kind of like a first impressions kind of thing, and are we going to continue it kind of thing.
Talk about it.
But Jay, what do you think we thought?
So I think both of you liked it, plain and simple. Like, I mean,
it's fair.
I mean, it's up both of your alleys, so I think you both liked it.
Let us reveal our truths. I'll go first. I'm enjoying this. I'll definitely continue it. I'm kind of getting caught up on different manga though. Because there's like some anime that are coming out the next couple seasons that have kind of distracted me, but
that Glasses one that's coming out, that one. I think Cole and I are on the same page about that.
But we're not talking about that one. My crush forgot her glasses or something. The girl I like forgot her glasses. But we're doing Dead Demons Dead Destruction.
We should really get like an acronym for that so we don't have to say that every time.
It's just quintuple D.
Yeah. Let's talk about quintuple D.
D.
Guy Fieri.
D5.
And we rolling out. Mike, what do you think?
I enjoy it, but kind of like what Cole said, I don't know if this manga has ever been the thing that I am looking forward to reading the most, if that makes sense. It's never been the top of the pile, but it's good.
Yeah. Jay?
So my objective opinion and my subjective opinion are very different.
Okay.
Objectively, I think it's a very good manga. But subjectively, it's not for me.
Yeah,
that sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah, I think that would be fair. It's definitely like it's got its niche for sure. But like you said, like objectively, like it's definitely a unique manga, and the art in it is really good.
Oh, the art's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, I would say that even if it's not your cup of tea, it's pretty easy to tell that like this is one of the masters of manga at work type thing.
For sure.
One of the modern masters. I keep alluding to like its unique plot. Basically, it's the whole idea of it is it's like a slice of life with these like weird girls, but also at the same time there's like aliens, but they're like completely harmless.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Mike, no.
Yeah.
You've read too far ahead.
This is going to be hard for me to not talk about stuff I know.
Mike's just like, it's a simulation, guys. No. It's been a simulation the whole time.
The last page is a mirror. It's wild.
They're all in pods. They're all seeing this, but they actually all took over.
So I think even on the liner notes it says this. So I mean, you guys might have missed it depending on which version you read. I think the interesting thing is that it is a slice of life about these like really weird people, because it's Inio Asano or whatever, and he writes weird people. Yeah. But the catch is that the world is ending.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
actually thought that was really interesting, because like it's just kind of like how people react to the apocalypse, and some people are just like, well, the world isn't ending right now, so they just continue on the regular day.
Yeah, they still have to go to school, they still have to do their homework and hang out with their friends.
It's a weird slice of life where it's like, people still have to do normal stuff in the years leading up to the apocalypse. They're not just gonna be crazy the entire time. They're gonna
like, it's not just mass hysteria like the media always portrays the apocalypse to be, but it's instead like, there are some lulls in the end of the world.
Yeah,
which is a weird thing to say.
It's a weird take.
Like,
yeah. But this is actually getting an anime adaptation. Did you guys know that?
I did know that, yes.
But it's by a weird studio, which worries me, I think.
They've done a couple things before. I looked it up, and there was a couple shows that they had done. I don't have it right in front of me. I should have, if I brought this up.
I can look it up while you talk.
Yeah, it's production plus H if you want to look it up there, Mike. So it is getting an anime adaptation. Probably within the next couple of years would be my expectations on it. But as we do with our reviews, why don't we just kind of go through like what we discuss when we do a review? So let's talk about characters, I guess.
Okay. I think that's probably where the Inio Asano and this manga really shines, is the characters.
Yeah.
It's all about the interactions between them, and like they're all super unique and like interesting, but mainly the two girls.
For sure.
Our two main girls. Yeah, they're very strange.
Yes.
Is it ever explained why one of them is always drooling?
Sort of. I really can't say anything. There is huge spoilers that you don't know. All I'll say is that at about approximately the halfway point, you learn something that changes everything. Is all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
I told you, it's all a simulation.
Yeah.
Jay is unknowingly spoiling this story.
My spoilers knows no bounds.
My spoiler senses are tingling.
I will just say it's not a simulation. It's not that cheesy. I'll spoil that part of it. Okay. It's
okay.
Mike is Mike is like, crap. I need to cover up Jay's big blunder here.
Yeah. No, it's a much better thing than that. Production plus H, by the way, has done The Orbital Children, Uchu Camper Chi-Chi, and Harusi Orana, and that's it.
And none of them were
Dead
good.
Demon. I've heard The Orbital Children's okay.
I've heard Orbital Children is okay. Yeah.
Characters. I really like too the brother, the weird like edgelord Discord mod brother. He's so funny. Yeah. I'm glad that he was in the first couple chapters. I forgot he came in that early.
Yes, he's good because he's just like edgelord, and like the funny thing is everybody in his mangas are like kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Or in this manga, because mangas are kind of ugly, except for this guy. He's got like this beautiful face.
I know. They always show him. He has like sparkles and stuff coming off his face. It's really funny.
Yeah. But
just a question for you guys. When do you because I went into this manga like completely blind, and the manga opens on like a completely different manga.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Yamzabin or whatever.
So like I read this online. And I was like, did I
get the wrong
thing? Am I reading
thing?
the right manga?
Yeah. I read the physical when I first read this, and those are in the physical. They're like actually they look very different. They're all in color and stuff, and then
which I mean, like it's a debut chapter, right? So they're commonly those are color pages.
They're at the beginning of every volume. Those little Isiaso beans or whatever.
Is that a real manga, by the way?
No, it's just for this.
I think it's just for the thing.
It is supposed to just be like a spoof of Doraemon, right?
Kind of, yeah. It does come into play later in this manga too.
Okay. Yeah. Visuals, I guess, would be the next one. We kind of touched on it already. Like, the art in these are great. Like Mike said, we're talking about like one of the great mangakas of like modern manga. So one would expect the art to be tremendous. Yeah.
I love all the shots too that they do of like, there's two things that I really find stand out about his stuff. And it's, the first one is like the faces. He makes them look so weird and kind of ugly, but he does a good job of showing like the emotion in the face, if that makes sense. Like he'll have whole pages where it's just like basically the characters like just hanging out in the environment, and I just really like that. It kind of sets the vibe a bunch.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I don't know if this is in the first, I think it's in the first 10 chapters, but the when what's her name, Kadoda or whatever, jumps over that dude because she's running late, and it's just like basically like 4 or 5 pages of just her running and jumping over a guy. And then you see the guy realizing that there's a girl jumping over him and she's wearing a skirt, and it's just like there's so much going on, but there's no words. He just does a good job telling a story with just through like just pure art.
Yeah,
portraying
show, don't
portraying the movement in just panels. Yeah, for sure. It's it reminds me of like there's that midway scene in Ghost in the Shell where like nothing's really happening. It's just kind of showing like different shots of the city and stuff like that. It kind of allows you to like take a step back and just absorb it rather than rather than like try and take the plot in. You're just absorbing the world that it's that you're in at that point. Yeah.
Also, the big like landscapes that he shows of like the spaceship and stuff look great.
And the spaceship itself is cool too. Like it's got a very like District 9 design to it.
Kind of the whole plot of it is very District 9 actually. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I guess that would be a recommendation.
Yeah.
Based off of this, maybe District 9.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm only 9 chapters in, so I don't have much else to go off of that, but kind of the like a lot of the background world building in it is like some people don't want the government to like develop these weapons to kill the aliens because they're like not aggressive and basically harmless. They're just there. Yeah. Which is similar to District 9. Like they're the aliens in that too are just kind of stuck there and they're not causing any issue. So
it's kind of neat too because they do there's a lot of stuff that happens in it where it's very, I could see that happening in a real situation of this. Like the mom becomes like a doomsday prepper. She wears like her gas mask and her goggles everywhere, and it's very real but also ridiculous at the same time.
It's believable in its absurdity.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Jay.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad too. Yeah. Like I think that's another thing of this mangaka is like
he kind of has very downer vibes with his manga.
Yeah, he's got a very good way of like writing characters that are in like awful situations, but they're just living their lives in them, and that's very. I think Mike that's why it's
clearly like I need like he's shaking.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like Goodnight Punpun, you know, like they're writing, especially early in that manga, like they're writing these characters that are in horrible like situations, but they don't know any other like anything else, so it's just normal to them.
Yeah.
I think it's important to say that like, because I went into this right after reading Goodnight Punpun when I first started reading it, and it's very like jarring at first because if you're reading this expecting it to be Goodnight Punpun 2.0, it's not. It's just they're not the same at all. The tone is totally different. The vibe is totally different. But like Cole was saying, it is still by the same guy. So yes, there is going to be some darkness and stuff that happens.
Yeah,
you can kind of feel it coming up. I think even in the first volume.
The vibe I was getting from it, because I haven't read Goodnight Punpun, but I've read manga with kind of like a similar vibe. And it reminded me of Takapi's Original Sin, which is like a 17 chapter manga. But like it's like very like heavy and dark, and it like has those like very dark themes. And like I kind of got like the vibe of like these two mangaka kind of have like that similar style.
Yeah.
So that's probably another good recommendation too.
Yeah. I guess that would kind of be my final thoughts as well. Like, it's I really appreciate the mangaka's ability to write stories like that, where they're living in horrible situations, and it makes you think, like, how can people be in these situations and not realize how bad it is, but like they don't know, which is interesting. It kind of puts it's a unique way of writing.
I think the other thing that I want to commend for that is, like, a lot of the time if you're writing those kind of situations, it turns out to be edgy, but like this never felt like that.
It doesn't feel edgy.
No. Yeah, it's like you said, it's apocalyptic, but it doesn't feel apocalyptic because it's just people doing normal stuff.
Like, I guess that would be my takeaway is, like, the manga is like a manga about, like, contrasts, maybe. Like, it's the apocalypse, but like it's not about the apocalypse, at least where I'm at, Michael, before you start spewing spoilers again.
I'm not spewing spoilers. I don't know.
It's just living life during the apocalypse.
I'm trying to say things that are general enough. But it's very interesting, and it definitely goes into, like, what does it mean to be alive? What do you need to keep going? Like, that kind of stuff. It's definitely, if you guys want to keep reading, it's definitely very deep and interesting. But it still keeps up that, like, kind of zany vibes that are always there.
Yeah.
And honestly, I enjoyed this one more so far than Poon Poon, which, kind of like Jay said at the beginning, like, I objectively know Poon Poon is probably better. It's probably a better, like, objective one. But you can't really say you enjoy reading Poon Poon, right?
That's what I say about Poon Poon all the time. Like, it is incredible. Like, it's a work of art, truly. But, like, am I ever going to read it again?
No,
I don't think I could.
I don't think I can. It's like Grave of the Fireflies for me too, because, like, if you watch Grave of the Fireflies, you watch it one time and you never want to watch it again because it's just so depressing.
It's
horrible.
It's a heavy manga, and I don't get that it's quite that heavy. This one,
no,
and that might be like, if you read Goodnight Poon Poon and you're like, no, I'd never want to delve into that again. I don't think that would be an issue with this. I think the tone is similar, but the heaviness isn't quite up to snuff comparatively.
If Poon Poon is like a black hole level darkness, this is just like a dark room level darkness. I don't know. Like, there's some darkness to it, but it's just more palpable. You know what I mean? Or palatable.
It's like a tunnel with, like, you can see the light at the end, but like it's still dark inside.
Yeah. I'll continue this though. That'll be how I'll end this for myself.
Okay. I have continued this, so that's how I'll end this for myself. I'm close to the end, so
yeah. Jay, would you reluctantly, like, would you continue to read it, or like what would you need? What would get you to continue reading it? Like, what are you looking for?
I don't know. Like,
where did you feel it missed? Yeah, like what didn't do it for you?
Just like the just the genre, honestly, like just how it was all put together, it just isn't for me. So, like, I don't think it could add anything to make me continue. You know, it's just like one of those things that's not for me. And, like, that doesn't mean that I don't acknowledge how enjoyable it could be or how good it is. It's just, you know, on a subjective level.
One thing I will say critically about it is I'm sure, like, we've only read the first volume, so this probably won't be an issue, but it's quite meandering. Like, nothing's really happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a more of a plot to it down the line, I could see this shooting up my, like, priority list of manga.
From where I ended off, because it ended on chapter 8, it seemed like a plot was starting, at least.
Yeah. Yes.
And you know, like, I mean, if it does have a good plot and it has a good through line there, then, like, maybe I'll give it a shot at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But just based off of the 8 chapters I've read, it's not for me.
Based on what I know I think Cole should continue it. I don't think Jay should continue it.
Okay.
It is quite meandering for like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything like really like heavily one thing after another plot based happens until for very far into it. Like probably close to around the like 8 or 9 volume things is when like really heavy plot starts happening, I'd say.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't want the meandering stuff, then you're probably not going to make it to that point, right?
Yeah. I read the first chapter and I could just feel it in my loins. Like, I'm going to enjoy this, you know?
It is a very cool manga.
It's just like one of those things where like when you read the first like page even, you're like, I like this.
Yeah, you'll know if you like it or not really quickly.
Yeah.
Ratings. We'll go from Jay and then Mike, then me.
So do you guys want an objective or a subjective rating?
I want the J rating.
I want the J rating.
Okay, I'll give
Everybody wants the J rating.
Okay, I'll give it in between then. And
Sure.
if we're going to go in between objective and subjective, I give it a high-end background.
Okay.
Yeah. What would you give it subjectively, though?
Subjectively, I'd probably...
I'm sorry, objectively.
Objectively, supporting.
So what are you going to rate this on your Annie list, I guess, would be what I would say.
Well, my Annie list, I rate purely off of my subjective opinion.
Right.
Okay, so what would your subjective opinion be?
Subjective, it would probably be like low-end background to like maybe like just slightly touching
Henchman?
Okay, so like a 2 to 3-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
It's fair.
I feel like that's.
I get it.
Yeah. Mike?
Yeah.
I would give it probably a supporting character, I think. I think I'd give it a supporting. I don't think I could go protagonist just because, like I said at the top of this, like it's just never been my priority, but I've enjoyed it every time I've read it. So I think that's worthy of a supporting character. Solid 4 out of 5.
Yeah. I would hear on that one. Supporting character from me as well. It might go up to protagonist if it really like starts plugging along and starts getting to like that meat.
Oh, that meat.
But right now it's good. The art is great. I like the characters, but nothing's really happened yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's what I would say.
That's more than fair.